From the Chicago Sun-Times, far-right influencer Nick Fuentes charged with battery of Berwyn woman. Marla Rose previously said that Fuentes pepper sprayed her and pushed her down the front steps of his West suburban home. Now he's facing a misdemeanor charge. Okay, let's clarify a few things. It was 2 steps, okay? Just 2. That's important. And that is the clarification right there. I'm going to come out and say it right on the top. These charges should never have been filed. This should be dropped, and it's ridiculous. I am not a fan of Nick Fuentes, but clearly the dude, what did he do? He trolled on the internet. Mm-hmm. He said, "Your body, my choice." Yeah. So far away from being offensive and illegal and look, the dude has said more offensive things in his life. Yeah. Many people say more. Taylor Lorenz says substantially more offensive things.
And double down.
Fuentes starts getting death threats and gets doxxed because of this. These people are celebrating it. By all means, don't dox people, but you're allowed to insult and not like Nick Fuentes. And then as the dude's getting death threats, and there's like apparently were a couple vehicles with people in them in front of his house, a woman walks up, apparently she's holding something, her phone, and Fuentes opens the door and pepper sprays her. He's getting charged for this. He's at his home minding his own business. Look, how many times have there been officers that have been deemed justified in shootings because someone was holding a cell phone and they didn't know if it was a weapon or not? Right. I'm not saying they should be justified, but if Nick Fuentes, all he did was pepper spray and shove somebody because they're walking up to his house.
On his property,
Now, I certainly think there's an argument of, look, maybe you should call the police and back off because it's stupid to approach the door with pepper spray if you think someone might be trying to kill you. But the idea that he would get arrested, charged, and mugshotted over this, I think is stupid.
It's Illinois.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not surprised because defending yourself is illegal in that state.
Yeah. It like as far as I'm like, it was dumb for him to do that because of where he lives. Like, you should know that the state that you live in doesn't approve of any kind of self-defense, any kind of active self-protection at all.
How long after it happened was he arrested? Was it?
It looks like it's today.
It happened today?
I mean,
no, the arrest happened today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the arrest was today.
No, I thought it was before Thanksgiving.
He was arrested. He was arrested before Thanksgiving?
The 27th?
December 7th, man. I don't know.
Okay, arrested today then.
Oh, he was arrested on the 27th. I didn't even realize it was that long ago that he got arrested. Oh, wow. It was Thanksgiving for me. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I think this is ridiculous. And a lot of people are posting online, if I'm getting a bunch of death threats and you show up to my house.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, you don't know what's coming in his email. You don't know what his what the messages might be left on his phone. So if somebody just walks up to your house and you ain't never seen these people before and they got something in their head, just like you said, it's a phone. You don't know. I mean, okay, well, I'm going to meet you at the door.
So I would say, like, if you live in Illinois, Nick, you shouldn't live in Illinois. This is crazy.
That's the big takeaway.
I know. Yeah. I know. So there are some distinctions here. Look, we're in West Virginia. You cannot walk up to this property. We have security perimeter and we have security. So even our food delivery guys are like, I don't know, what is it, like a football field away, confused, because you can't get in. And if you try to get in, you will be severely hurt because there's like several signs before you come in. There's a big difference. If you were somehow able to walk up to my front door, if don't do it. I'll just say, just please do, for the love of all that is holy, do not come to the front door of my house.
Cancel Christmas, right?
I'm just saying, like, you've already committed a felony at that point if you're able to make it to the front door and there's armed security guards who aren't going to wait to ask questions considering we get death threats. The difference for Nick Fuentes is that he's on a public street in a residential area where his property line is 10 feet. And so the argument they're going to make is this could be a delivery person or a solicitor that he just pepper sprays randomly. He didn't wait to find out. He didn't know it was. He can certainly argue that he was concerned or whatever. But they're going to argue if he really thought he was facing a threat, he would have called the police and he would have went and hid or gone out the back door or done something else.
Second I heard this and I heard Chicago, I imagined it being at the house from Home Alone.
Just open the door and the spray just shoots out.
Harry and Marv are there.
I mean, look, Tim and myself have both moved because of the place that we were living in was no longer to our liking. My house is in New Hampshire and I live here and I got an apartment here in West Virginia. Like, that's by choice, intentionally. I'm fortunate in that, the jobs that I do make that possible or made that possible. but I didn't like the laws in Massachusetts, so I left. You see people doing this from leaving California. A lot of times they're leaving for monetary reasons and going to Texas or going to Florida. But people move out of places that are not to their liking. Nick doing this in Illinois, Nick was dumb to do this because of where he lives. It's not that it was wrong of him to do it.
Right.
He actually didn't hurt the woman. He maced her, but he didn't cause permanent damage. He didn't shoot her.
Made her famous.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So hold on. I don't think he was arrested. Oh, okay. So all of the stories that are coming up right now are from today saying he was arrested.
Right.
I don't think it was reported that it was on the 27th, but they're reporting now that after the incident, he was booked, fingerprinted, and searched on November 27th and ultimately charged with battery and released.
Right.
He's due in Cook County on the 19th.
Yep.
Well, you know what, man? I'll tell you, Nick, these court systems are not fair, and they don't care, and they absolutely will take into account
everything that he has done.
Yep. And so we've seen this before with other personalities. If you're a controversial figure, the judge is going to be like, don't know, don't care. The law doesn't apply to you. You're going to jail.
Yeah.
You think that's what will happen here?
I think the judge is going to. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Like
Maybe a short time, but
Look, everybody knows if you go to court and you insult the judge, good luck. He's going to be like, okay, lock him up.
Yeah.
So Nick going to court, you're going to get a judge in Illinois who's likely going to be liberal leaning, and they're going to think to themselves two things. I don't want to be the person to go light on Nick Fuentes because it's going to reflect poorly on me, and this guy's a dickhead, and so he gets what's coming to him.
I mean,
judge is going to be like, lock him up.
even being not an internet troll and being right-leaning, like publicly right-leaning, you're risking getting a left-leaning judge and the judge deciding that he wants to punish you. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, he got lucky that the judge was not left-leaning.
Yeah.
Right?
Look at Daniel Penny.
Yeah, exactly. So, Daniel Penny, you don't even really know his politics other than he wanted to help the people that he was in the subway with. So, like Nick Fuentes,
Look at Donald Trump.
If they go, yeah, exactly. Donald Trump was a Democrat forever. If they look into Nick Fuentes, his history, which they likely will, they are not going to be kind to him. They're going to say this kid is a bad kid.
Yeah, it's
he's
character thing.
Blah blah blah, and. You know, so I mean, and I'm not endorsing this. I don't think it's a good thing at all, right? Like I think Nick is silly, and I think that he's got some dumb ideas, but like I don't have anything personal against the guy. But this is gonna be a bad deal for him. It's gonna turn into something really, really, really bad. It was very, very dumb to do this in Illinois.
Wait, do you think that he's going to get community service? Do you think he's going to get jail time for this?
I think whatever he assaulted someone, so he could get jail time, I assume. I don't know what the laws are. I don't know what they're going to charge him with. I don't know what the laws are like in what's it called. But I don't imagine he's going to get leniency. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be like, well, he means well, and so we're going to go ahead and just give him probation. When really what they're going to say is, oh, your body, my choice. So he thought that he was within his rights to mace this person because he obviously thinks that it's their body, is his, his to do with as he dispose of as he pleases. They're going to see that, they're going to say that, and they're going to be like, throw the book at him.
I could see him going in there and the judge looking right dead at him and was like, oh, you're Nick Fuentes.
Yep.
It's like, oh.
Yeah. I
and hopefully he doesn't get a brother.
I bet it's. Oh man, I bet it's worse than that. The judge is going to get handed the docket and the documents. He's going to go.
Yeah. Or like hopefully he's the first case, because usually if judge has been up there for 3 or 4 hours, they tend to get a little bit more pissed off, and that's it. I don't want to hear it. 30 days.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine, honestly, I think it'll be way, way more than 30 days.
You think so?
Yeah. I do. I think that they're going to want to make an example.
For a mace and a push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, battery, I think it's like, what is it, 6 months?
I don't know. But
I think the maximum could be 6 months.
Yeah, I think whatever the fullest extent of the law allows, I think that's what the judge will give him.
They're going to argue that he instigated and incited
while he was inside of his home.
No,
on the
beforehand.
They're going to say he intentionally went online and antagonized, instigated, creating a threat he was well aware of. They'll likely, and I'm not saying, I don't know if for sure this happened, but one pathway they might go is they're going to find examples of him gloating, laughing, and saying things like, screw you, what can you do about it, blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to be like, so if there's I'm pretty sure this is how it works in Illinois. If in Illinois you instigate a fight, then your defense is limited. So if someone punches you and you say it's battery, and then they can prove that you actually told the guy, what are you going to do about it? You insulted him and said, hit me, I dare you, and things like that. They're like, that's your fault. You instigated a fight.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is that video that he kind of made fun and stuff like that, that could be shown.
Everything he said can and will be used against him in a court of law.
Like, I don't know anything about the victim, but if she's Jewish, he's doomed.
Well, I don't know. She's woke, and then
Because look at his look at his past rhetoric.
I mean, no, they I don't know.
Can you imagine if she's Jewish and
They've already charged him.
the judge is a brother? I mean, that's like 10 years.
I mean,
This
like
is-
I said,
Well, as much as I think that any judge could hold it against Nick Fuentes because he's a controversial public figure that says things that offend people, I wouldn't immediately assume that just because the judge is black, he's not capable of being impartial. You know what I mean? I think typically judges are personal and they have emotions and they're going to weigh that. But I don't.
If it's the afternoon case and he's been up there for a little bit.
But that could be anybody, right?
That's true.
I'll tell you this.
Those
If
hanging
Clar-
judges down there in
If
Texas.
Clarence Thomas was a judge and Fuentes came in, he's not going to be like, I hate this guy, I'm going to throw the book at him. Clarence Thomas is going to do a good job being a good judge.
Well, Clarence is a little bit different than
He's the cream of the crop. He's the best of the best.
but he's a little bit different than those judges that are out there doing.
I agree.
every day, you know.
You can't compare the best judge that we have in the entire country with your run-of-the-mill Cook County local district court judge or whatever.
yep,
Clarence Thomas is awesome.
he's the OG.
Yeah, Alito's great too. I'm glad those guys are on the top.
And those headlines won't help him either. I mean, white nationalists, really?
Yeah.
In Chicago?
I mean, they're gonna throw the book at him. But who knows? Who knows? We may be overthinking it. The courts, look, they're lazy. They don't want to deal with this stuff.
Yeah.
They just might be like, how do I make this go away? And then there's two considerations.
Throw
They could be
itself on
saying
mercy.
the protesters are going to get mad if we don't get something out of him. So they're going to offer him a plea bargain of some sort that's got to satisfy the activists.
Kenny?
Like what would happen with George Floyd in the trial. Like
Well, I don't know that they're. I mean, they might be. I mean, that's a consideration. They could say, listen, if you let this guy off with anything light, there's going to be riots.
Yeah.
These people want blood.
I mean, I don't know if this would go to that. I don't think that
Not
would.
for
I don't.
this,
This would come to
or who Nick Fuentes is, and so the court,
Wow.
the court's going to be saying, why did someone show up to his house in the first place?
Yeah.
Because he's antagonistic on the internet. Okay, how many of these people are there? There's a lot of people who are mad about this. It went massively viral. Okay, what's the likelihood? What's the ramifications if we give him a plea deal? Be like, you could have protests. Well, we don't want protests, so what do? You got to get a conviction, something.
Would her character come into this too?
The woman got pushed?
Yeah.
I doubt it. The consideration is not did Nick they don't care. It's not a question of did Nick do something wrong. It's a question of how do we avoid political ramifications from this? And it's a question of, here's a question for you guys. Do you think the left would protest if they dismiss the charges?
Pardon me?
If they dismiss the charges, would the left protest?
I don't think so.
Then I think dismissal is likely. Yeah. Because they're going to be like, I don't care about this.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, why is this guy? Who cares? You pushed the woman. This is a waste of our time.
I mean, with all
There's a dude who just shot 3 people on the south side. What
exactly. I mean, there's little kids that are getting shot on the front steps and stuff. This is
I didn't see this coming to something that would end up being protests or anything like that.
yeah, no.
If they say Nick Fuentes pepper sprayed and pushed this woman and he will and he's let go with no charges, I think there's a small probability that people might protest and be like,
News cycle is so fast now.
Yeah,
right. That's why I say
I just see
small.
this disappearing.
In which case, then I think it's not likely that they throw the book at him.
Yeah, maybe.
If there are any protests, it'll be those groypers.
Well, you know what would start a protest? If not only if they want to protest, they'd have to dismiss the charges, issue a public apology, stand with him at City Hall shaking his hand and saying you're a good person, and that would get you a protest.
That'll do it.
If they're looking to.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, throwing her down the steps.
It was 2 stairs. It barely qualifies as a curb.
That's crazy.
I don't agree with him doing it, but I also because of where he lives in Chicago, and I'm from Chicago. Yeah. Someone walks up to your door and knocks. I don't think the appropriate response is what he did. I should say this. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know. He could have got an email saying, I'm coming to your house right now. And I bet he does. And so when the woman shows up, he's like, oh, crap, who knows?
I mean,
but he shouldn't live in Illinois because the proximity, there's no way to secure himself, and he's going to end up in a situation like this.
if he could produce an email in the past few hours that says someone's like, I'm on the way to your house, then that might be something that could help his case.
I bet he has 5,000 DMs, emails, and messages of people saying, I'm coming right now to get you.
That's possible. Yeah, I mean, maybe he produces these and he says, look, this is the constant barrage that I'm under. I know that I say things that are inflammatory, but this is the reason why I behaved that way.
But you know the photo that is famous, right? Him just standing. I mean, just a picture of him standing up, looking over like Dirty Harry. Like, that. Okay.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring up January 6th, too, because he was there.
Ha! Oh, yeah. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.